Hey guys, Sonny the Badger here, and in today's episode, we're going to talk about passion or hobby. So last week I saw a meme somebody put on one of the social media platforms that says, buying a new bike is a hobby, but passion is keeping the old bike running. Let's talk about that. All right guys, so as I said in the opener, passion or hobby? What is motorcycles to you? Anyway, guys, first off, if this is your first time to our channel, welcome to our channel. If you're returning, thank you so much for coming back and watching our videos. My name is Sonny the Badger, and I'm the one that runs this channel. We are also the Badgers in the Biker Lifestyle on Facebook and pretty much all the social media platforms. Guys, if you like this video, please help our channel out. Hit that subscribe button. Give us a thumbs up or a thumbs down. If you didn't like the video, leave us a comment. We try to respond to all of them. And you can ring that bell icon if you want to be notified every time we upload a video. So again, passion or hobby? So I don't exactly 100% agree with this saying. Right, because to some people it is a hobby, right? They have a motorcycle, it sits in their garage, and they ride it on the weekends. They hang out with their friends, they go to the rallies, and you know, that's the extent of it. Every few years they buy themselves a new bike. They don't do any of their own work, and all of that's fine. There is no right, there is no wrong in all of this. But there are just a couple of different philosophies, right? So as most of you know that follow this channel, Silver, which is all apart back here, started to knock when I was in West Virginia. So Angie and I jumped on her fat boy. We rode it back 2 up, and our great friend Wind Road Therapy, check her out here on YouTube. She does some great motorcycle and travel videos. Anyway, she hauled my bike back in her RV, which I can't thank her enough. Thank you again, Wind Road Therapy. Anyway, so she hauled it back. I got it back this week, and I started tearing it down. Now, this bike has 125,000 miles. So it's definitely seen some miles, and I'm sure that it is beyond overdue for some repair. And what I eventually came up with once I got it all tore apart was a piece of carbon had come loose and it started to rattle around in there. But I mean, there's some pretty thick and hefty carbon on that. So it needed redone. So I got brand new pistons on the way, and getting the heads done and so on. And it'll be as good as gold in no time. But that started a whole nother thing for us while we were in West Virginia. So I was like, you know what, maybe I will just buy a new bike and ride it home. And so I started looking around at new bikes, and I had another motivation too. I was going to ride it home and I was going to sell it. So I was looking for particular bikes that I knew would sell when I got back home. But anyway, that got me to thinking. So we started looking at these new bikes, and you know, you're talking the one bikes I wanted anywhere from $25,000 to basically $40,000. And you know, I've got this bike. I've got about $8 grand invested in it, and it's got 125,000 miles on it. I've owned it for 6 years. If you take all of the maintenance and work and everything I've done, I probably got, let's say, another $8,000 into it. It's probably not that much, but let's just say it is. So I'm 16 grand into this bike, and I own it, right? I can do whatever I want to it. I'm getting ready to do this rebuild. This rebuild's probably going to cost me, it will cost me probably less than $1,000 and some of my time. So for a new bike, I was looking, by the time I pay taxes, you know, all the dealer stuff, blah, 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 you know, I'm probably $400 a month. Up to $600 a month. $400 a month times 4, that's $4,800 a year I'm spending on a bike that I don't own. Now, one of the reasons that the wife and I talked about this is we ride a lot of miles, as most of you know, 25,000 a year. You know, so in 2 years, that's 50,000 miles. And the warranty for a Harley is 2 years unlimited miles. So we're like, well, you know, that might come in really handy. because if anything breaks, then, you know, we just take it to Harley, it's fixed under warranty. But I can fix a lot of stuff on this bike for $4,800 a year. I mean, I can basically put a new motor in it for $4,800, a new transmission, a new primary. I mean, basically from head to toe, there's nothing on here that I can't replace for a lump sum of $4,800. Now, that being said, I guess if it all went out at the same time, motor, transmission, and primary, that might get a little expensive. But I mean, honestly, for $4,800, there's not much I can't replace on this bike. So I get a bike that, you know and I love. And honestly, when I look at all the new bikes, there just isn't any that I like as well as my old 17-year-old bike. I'm a fat boy guy. The new fat boys have that big wide back tire. I'm not a big wide back tire person. I love the look of it. I just don't like it for long distance trips. Then you take all the other stuff that has to be changed. The seat. I'm gonna need a sissy bar. I'm gonna need a luggage rack. I'm gonna need highway pegs. I'm gonna need a windshield. I'm gonna need bags. So now what am I spending? Another, what, $1,500, $2,000 just to take the new bike and make it as functional as the old bike. So after doing the math, after looking at, the old bike, I just couldn't justify buying that new bike. And like I said, there's nothing the new bike has that is like, well, that would be my reason for trading up. The M8, this motor gets me down the highway just fine. It'll do plenty of speed. It has cams in it. It's getting Keith Black pistons, so it runs great. And it'll get everything I need done. The suspension on the new ones, they say it's much better, but I have no issue with the suspension on this one. So I'm not looking for that upgrade. They have a USB on the new one. Okay, I have 2 USBs on this one that I wired in myself. I have LED lighting. I mean, I've done everything to this bike that I would want out of the new bike. But here's the other big kicker. There's a parts shortage right now. And I'm gonna say it's way worse for the M8s and the new bikes than it is this. Because I hopped online and bought all the parts for this, and they had them all in stock, and they shipped them to me. Because it's 17 years old. The aftermarket support for this is huge. There are tons of parts everywhere from all the top name brand companies. S&S, Keith Black, James Gaskets. So the truth of the matter is you can get parts for these where you may not be able to get the parts for the M8. Anyway, guys, I'm not telling you what to do or how to do it. You do what makes you happy, right? I actually enjoy stuff like this. I like tearing motors apart and putting motors back together. I'd rather do that than sit inside and watch a movie, watch TV, do whatever. So for me, it is a passion and not just a hobby. But I ride the crap out, and this is what I do for a living. For you, like I said, it may just be a weekend thing to do, and that is perfectly fine. But those were the things that I measured out when I decided whether to fix this one or get a new bike. Because I get asked that a lot. With all the miles you put on, why don't you just buy a new bike? Well, guys, there's the reasons that I came up with as to why I like my old bikes. Anyway, guys, thanks for hanging out with me. Thanks again for watching, and leave those comments. I'll be happy to answer them. And remember, guys, it's not about the destination. It's all about the ride. See you next week.